It is once again time for our Loper football show with UNK head coach Ryan Held. Jason Jorgensen with you as the Lopers are getting set for year number 3 under Coach Held. Ryan, thanks a lot for the time and been a long off season, I'm sure. You worked your way through fall camp, and here we go. You get things started.
Yeah, we're excited to get started, chomping at the bit to keep moving this program forward. Now we're going into year 3. We put a lot of work into this. A lot of people, we're appreciative of our players, our coaches, administration, strength staff, training room, everybody. You all, I mean, everybody's put a lot of work in it. Now we can, move this thing forward and get going against Wayne.
As you move into year 3, what do you feel the best about it at this point?
Well, I just think just even more comfortability, it just being able to, have our players really know our schemes better. Our culture has gotten better. Another year in the weight room to get bigger, stronger, faster. I think we, are continuing to get the right kids in our program that want to be here and become their best versions. And, I think we've done a better job in recruiting and finding the right people that fit us and Kearney. You can't ever speed up time. And when they hand you the keys, you're excited, but you know that it's a long road. You can never, cut corners. You're going to learn. You're going to stub your toe. But we feel like going into year 3, we definitely have the best product that we've had. That doesn't necessarily mean wins, but we definitely feel a lot better going into year 3.
In an era of transfers, one thing you really have to like is your retention rate. That has been very high for you there in Kearney.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is, keep recruiting a lot of Nebraska kids and local kids. I think these kids they want to be here. They want to be, part of this program. They're very loyal, and so I think that's really helped. And then, finding the right transfers that's key. Because you can get a lot of turnover if you have, number one, too many transfers, and number two, the wrong transfers. But yeah, I mean, we were well over 100 kids, 106, 107 in the spring, and had a retention rate of 99 to 100. So we're in the 90th percentile, and I really feel good about it. I mean, our numbers right now are around 130. We've only had a few kids that have moved on, which is always going to happen. But for the most part, we feel really good about the infrastructure and where this program's at.
One of those transfers is at the quarterback position, and Darren Bryson. You bring him in. He had been at Emporia State. What do you make of the fall camp he's had?
Yeah, Darren Bryden's done a really nice job so far. He's got really good skill set. He can really throw the ball, and he can run. He had a really good summer. He's pretty sleek. I mean, we're not going to use him like Lamar Jackson or anything, but he's a guy that definitely can maneuver in there, and he just really makes some really good throws, and so we're fired up about him. But Abram Schulting is a guy that has done a great job. He'll actually have a package or two, and he will play in games this fall. So we feel we have a really good 1-2 punch at our quarterback position.
How about the running game? Isaiah Harris came on and was great for you a year ago. He's back, and also you have a whole lot more than just him back there.
Yeah, we feel really good about the running back position. Isaiah Harris obviously is the lead horse in it, but we have Stone Wilson, a transfer from Dodge City Community College, that is going to be a really good player. Jamez Ross from Omaha West Side redshirted for us, last year. Jet Turner ended up redshirting. We, got him in a little bit earlier, and then ended up following through with a red shirt. So we feel really good about that. Zane Schwong is going to play receiver for us, but he also can do some running back things. Knock on wood, if we stay healthy, I think that can be a position room of strength.
Seemed to me last year that one of the areas where you really made some big strides was in the offensive line, and I'm sure you have to hope, and you probably expect that to continue this fall.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys that toward the middle to the end of the year played a lot of snaps. So that really is encouraging to be able to have that. The room is talented, but it's also young as well, and we know that. So there, some of the backups guys are younger, but they got a chance to be really, really good. What excites me is, after this season, not that I'm looking ahead, we'll have 21 to 22 out of 25 guys coming back on paper in this program. So that really, I think, sets us up really nice for the future.
You had a solid defense last year. You made some improvements there. You lost some key people, but what's your gauge on that group and what you've seen from them here in the preseason?
Well, Coach Schopner is a great defensive coordinator. He gets those guys to play together with chaos tempo and, everything that they do. It all starts up front, Jason, for us. We really feel good about our D-line. If we can stay healthy. We do have really good depth in the interior. I mean, there's some really good football players that, might not get as many plays that, 2 years ago would have probably started. So it all starts up front. We feel really good about that group. Coach Mandelko's done a nice job with them. Coach McCoy's done a really nice job with the linebackers. That could be a position where, you could look at and say we don't have as much experience. But, those guys have really done well here in fall camp. And so I'm really excited about that. We went out and got some more length at corner. We felt we needed to get some guys that could really run. Coach Willis has done a nice job there. And then Coach Schopner coaches the two safety positions and the nickel spot. We feel, those are all kind of interchangeable spots. And, we feel we have some really good experience coming back. We got Colton Tilford, a transfer from South Dakota State. He's a really good player. So overall, we feel that group, it can be as good as any group in the MIAA.
You were so close in so many games against some good people last year. Any thoughts on, what it's going to take this year to win those 50-50 matchups? Because you were certainly there.
Yeah, we finished 5-6, which was an improvement. We beat two teams that we didn't beat the year before. One that beat us by 50, and we ended up beating them this past year in Northwest. But Jason, we've continued to really stress situational football. During fall camp, we had what we called story time, where we had the whole team come up and we talked situation and how we're supposed to react and making sure we understand it. We talk about it ad nauseum. We also try to do everything in our power within practice to simulate those situations. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to execute it how you want it, but I know we've talked about as many situations as we can. So when they come up in these critical games, in these critical moments, that we're prepared, and we just got to execute a little bit better. You look at Central Missouri, we got down, we came back, they beat us by 1. We had a chance to kick a field goal. That last drive, we had a chance to go in and score a touchdown. Pittsburgh State was 13-10 in the fourth. UCO, we were beating them 17-14 in the fourth. Missouri Southern, we just didn't play well. That was probably one of the worst games that I've been associated with. It starts with me. I just didn't do a good enough job. We were too worried more about the winning season instead of playing the opponent. And then 4 days, we got down and we roared back and threw a pass in the end zone to try to tie it. So we're right there, Jason. We'll be in every single game. There's no doubt about it. We just got to be able to win those 50-50 games and put ourselves in position to have a winning season, and who knows from there.
How about this game with Wayne State? I know this is a game you kind of, campaigned for, and here you go. This is a fun one to begin things.
Well, I think historically, and Jason, you know more about stats than me, but I think Wayne, we've played the most maybe in the history of Kearney football since 1905. Played them the most maybe, or up there. And so it's good to be able to get this rivalry back. We got both, in-state schools on our schedule, which I think is really neat. And, we hope to continue this. We have the Good Life Trophy, with Shadron here in 2 weeks. But this is a big game. It's big for our fans, big for our alumni. This is the third year in a row we get to go on to start our season. So we're used to that. And, now we just, we're tired of hitting each other, Jason. I think it's time that we go hit somebody else. But we know we're going to get Wayne's best shot. They're a really good program. We have a lot of respect for them. But, our guys are excited to go out and work to play well on Thursday.
When you start to break down the Wildcats, what kind of a squad are you going to run into?
Well, it starts on defense. They have the preseason defensive player of the year, and Carter Sitzman's their D line all back. They moved a really good safety to corner. That's really good. Long, can run. They do what they do. Their kids really, really play hard. They know what they do what they do, and they do it well. Offensively, they have a lot of linemen coming back. They will have a new quarterback, and I think that just like we will. So that'll be see what happens there. They have, some really good running backs, some new skilled guys. They did lose some guys too deep, but we don't know how the too deep is. I mean, with the transfer portal, who knows? Maybe there's some guys that have been injured and they're going to get in the mix or not get in the mix or whatever. So we know what they're going to do. We just have to be able to, to go out and execute and do what we do and stick to our process. Worry about the play that we're playing. Don't worry about the previous play. Don't worry about the next play. Live for the moment and take care of the ball. And I think we'll have a chance to be in the game. And we need to take care of business in the fourth quarter.
And that was Loper head coach Ryan Held. His thoughts, once again, UNK getting set to get the season started on Thursday night at 6 at Wayne State. We'll bring you the game on 93.1 The River and 106.9 in Kearney. I'm Jason Jorgensen.